There's a musical language that is written pretty much in stone, and us guitar players sometimes can get intimidated by it or confused by it. And this lesson is more of guitar talk and education to help you kind of decode what is happening in the musical world so that you feel more at ease with your mind and your fingers on this instrument. We're going to show you how just knowing two simple ingredients can really change your perspective on how easy it is to understand what's happening in the musical world. This lesson is going to answer some questions, guaranteed, but it's also going to cause a lot of questions that you're going to chew on like a mental bubble gum. And I want you to take the time to think about those questions and know that I'm going to have some future videos coming out that will help discuss those and answer those questions that pop up. So in music, the most important thing that you have to understand when you're thinking about scales or chords or anything is that there are two pillars in music that we compare everything to. Two of them. The first one is known as the major scale, and the second one is known as the minor scale. All right, these terms, major scale and minor scale, are really very important. Major scale, major meaning really important. Major, big, okay, like Ursa Major, big. Minor being secondary. All right, so the major scale and the minor scale are the two holy pillars of music that everything in music for us guitar players, piano players, harp, saxophone, everything are compared to, and the language of music is created from. So the first thing, we'll get into that a little bit deeper. The first thing you want to know is you want to know a basic major scale. All right, so load this up and I'll show you how this works. We're going to go on the 5th fret. We're going to play an A major scale. All right, we're going to play A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. And we really don't even want to know those notes. You just want to know now the intervals. The intervals of the major scale are pure numbers. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and back to 1. You can use any major scale you know. If you know different shapes of them, everywhere on the guitar neck, that's fine. I'm going to stay here for ease of use. All right, now, so what do I mean by all this? Well, let's just take a modal scale. Let's take a Mixolydian scale. You might hear people talk about, well, Mixolydian is the 5th degree of the major scale. Cool. You also might hear this. A Mixolydian scale is a major scale with a flat 7. And this is music speak. This is how music is compared to the major scale and how it is understood. So check this out, all right? So if you have a major scale with a flat 7, what that means is you play the notes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we flatten it. So right now you can see that a modal scale, and we'll talk about other scales, are compared to, their names, the way we describe them is how they compare to the major scale, or this scale. Again, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, and 1. Let's take another modal scale. Now, if modes aren't your thing, don't worry, I have some videos below, and I have a really cool class coming out. So just follow the information here for what it's worth. Don't let your brain kind of start, wandering just yet. If we pick another scale known as Lydian, right, you'll hear the discussion that Lydian is a major scale with a raised 4th degree. Great. So you take your major scale, you find your intervals, 1, 2, 3, and here's 4, but the Lydian is with a raised 4th, or a sharp 4, as we call it. Then you continue the scale 5, 6, 7, 1, 1, 2, 3, sharp 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. If you were to look at the intervals, you can Google it right now. What are the intervals of a Lydian scale? You will see it'll come up. It'll say 1, 2, 3, sharp 4, 5, 6, 7. That's it. And that is compared to the major scale. All scales that have a major quality are going to be compared to the major scale, and any changes are going to be notated. Everything is compared in the major world to a major scale. Let's talk about minor really quickly. In the minor world, you want to know a basic minor scale and its intervals. They are 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, and 1. 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. If I were to take, let's take a harmonic minor, all right? You hear about the scale all the time. And if you look up what are the intervals to a harmonic minor, you will hear, or you will see, it says 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, 7, 1. And what that 7 is it's a major 7th, okay? It's a major 7th. So a harmonic minor is a minor scale with a raised 7th degree, or major 7. So if you know that you're comparing everything in the minor world gets compared to the minor scale, you'll know that a harmonic minor is 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6. Then here's the flat 7, but it's a major 7. All right, we're talking about music speak, decoding the world of music. Using these things, they're all over my channel, but I want to make this video because there's a lot of questions about, scale degrees and chords and where do we get their names and how to think of it. And these two pillars, the major and the minor, I was about to spill the beans right there, which I'll do right now. This is the true definition of the relative major and the relative minor. I have a video about relative major and relative minor, how it's thought of by 90% of the music community, and it's a very helpful video. But this really is the true definition of relative major and relative minor, because we are relating everything that is major in the musical world to the major scale, and we are relating everything that is minor to the minor scale. It's how it's related to these two scales that we create our formulas. If you look at a Dorian scale, which is a minor type of mode, you'll say it's a minor scale with a major sixth, or a minor scale with a raised sixth degree. So let me show you. You take your minor scale, you go 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5. Well, here's my flat 6. Can I play it someplace else? Yeah. Right? So again, the relative major scale and the relative minor scale are the holy compasses, the pillars, the comparison of it all. Everything in music gets compared to either the major scale or the minor scale. Again, it's why it's called the relative major and relative minor. How do you use this? All right, again, this is just kind of like guitar talk, maybe easing your mind on how to decode certain things. And so, and when you look at scale formulas, chord formulas, which we'll talk about in future videos, it's the same thing. Chords, a major 7 flat 5 is a major chord. We're going to put in the 7, we're going to flat the 5. It's all compared to the major scale formula, or the major chord formula that comes from that. That's a little too far out there. I just want to explain to you everything in music gets its name from how close it is or how far away it is from a major scale, or how close it is or how far away it is from a minor scale. Let's look at a different scale. Let's look at a Phrygian scale. You might have heard about this. You might be new to the channel. You might be seasoned. Phrygian. There are so many ways to think about modes. And again, cool mode videos down below that will ease your mind. But what are the intervals to a Phrygian scale? That's easy. It's a minor scale with a flat 2. Great. So here's your minor scale. 1, 2. Okay, we got to flat it. That was terrible. My technique was terrible right there. Let me redeem myself. 1, flat 2. Now, how do we use this information right now so that you really understand it? This isn't necessarily about playing everything and decoding the whole guitar neck, because all these scales and chords can be played everywhere with almost a clearer sense. But this is about the music speak. This is about the language. The best thing you can do is look up different scale intervals. Look up different scales. Look up, really, there's so many cool exotic scales, and what's the formulas to this, and decode them yourself and try to write riffs with them. Try to hear the sounds they have to offer. If I was writing with Phrygian, right, I would look and it's, 1, flat 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7. I know that flat 2 is out of place, so that's the special note. And it's like, okay, so you want to write a riff. Emphasizing the note that's changed from either the relative major or the relative minor. That's what gives you the secret sauce. So writing riffs with just a basic scale. You can take any scale shape that you like. Say that you have a different, major scale, like you can do the same thing. Okay, I'm going to play with this major scale shape, and all this stuff is all over my channel. I don't want this to be a 3-hour video. I just want you to understand this is about the music speak. This is about understanding what a real relative major and relative minor is, and how to decode it, and how to be comfortable with formulas that you see, intervallic formulas that you see all over in the music world. But if you have the scale, and you say, okay, let me find a Mixolydian. It has the flat 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, here's the 7, so I'm going to flat it. That's here. Okay. That's as an A major scale converted into an A Mixolydian. And now you can write some riffs. Anything, and have fun with it. Remember, if it's major, it's going to sound kind of happy. If it's minor, it's going to sound kind of gritty and sad and have some, weight to it. I'll stop talking. Quick conversation that I wanted to have with you. Everything in music, in terms of how it's written down, chord formulas, scale formulas, and we'll do chord formulas in a different video, right? This is just kind of like an introduction. It all comes down to how close or how far away it is from a major or minor scale, known as the relative major and the relative minor. Hope you're having a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.